Forgiveness ends all suffering and loss and loss. Forgiveness ends all suffering and loss and loss. Father, we would return our minds to you. Now would we rest again in you. Forgiveness ends all suffering and loss and loss. Forgiveness ends all suffering and loss and loss. Lesson 249. Forgiveness ends all suffering and loss. Forgiveness paints a picture of a world where suffering is over, loss becomes impossible, and anger makes no sense. Attack is gone, and madness has an end. What suffering is now conceivable? What loss can be sustained? The world becomes a place of joy, abundance, charity, and endless giving. It is now so like to heaven that it quickly is transformed into the light that it reflects. And so the journey which the Son of God began has ended in the light from which he came. Father, we would return our minds to you. We have betrayed them, held them in a vice of bitterness, and frightened them with thoughts of violence and death. Now would we rest again in you, as you created us. Forgiveness ends all suffering and loss and loss. Forgiveness, it ends all suffering, woe and loss and loss and loss. And now for the reflection on Lesson 249. Forgiveness offers me everything that I want. It ends all suffering and all loss because forgiveness is the bridge into the real world. Forgiveness is the way in which I access the reality that knows nothing of forgiveness because, as we know, forgiveness itself is an illusion, but it's a different kind of illusion. It's an illusion that leads out of all illusions. Forgiveness, or true forgiveness, forgiveness to heal, as Jesus calls it in the Course, is my ability to see that the sin that I thought had been committed in reality never was, never really happened. And in doing so, it brings me into true perception. And that is why it is the illusion to end all illusions. So today, we realize that forgiveness indeed does end all my suffering if I would but choose to see as God sees. And God sees nothing to forgive. Will we choose to do the same?